Hello, wonderful manifestors. Hey, so it's been a while. Apologies. Just want to talk to you about one of my favorite movies and why it has to do with Neville's work and why it teaches us, I think, the foundation of what it means to be creators and selectors. Remember, we're always manifesting. We're not manifesting, right? We are creators who are selecting states. Please hear that. You are not manifesting. You are already manifesting in the most simplest way. Okay. One of my favorite movies is Big Fish by Tim Burton. One of his lesser known ones, not as popular as his other ones. But I think in the heartbeat of what manifestation is, and Neville talks a lot about the idea of assumption. Remember, assumption is three things, not one thing. Okay. And one of the major areas of assumption is the belief/conviction. Okay. Belief and conviction are one and the same. And for me, I believe what we call belief is what we would say is exaggeration on this level. Okay. So most people say, oh, well, they're just exaggerating. Not necessarily. Okay. So Neville was very informed by the Kabbalah. I'm very informed by the Kabbalah as well as, quantum science. Not the cheesy, new age understanding of quantum science. Most of that is false. But I do believe that there are levels. Neville even talks about this, several of his lectures. But the idea is that what we call exaggeration down here is on another level, belief or conviction, which means I accept this. This is true. This is who I am. This is what I'm capable of. I'm God in the flesh, right? And I believe that. And that's the first step, by the way. But let's go back to Big Fish. So Big Fish tells the story of a guy who, and I'm summarizing for the sake of this point, is a guy who believes what he says and who he says that he is to others. Problem is that some people don't believe he is who he says he is, especially his son. Right? And his wife is kind of passive and so on, and she'll support him, she won't support him, and so on. But the crux of everything centers around this guy's identity and his experience with other people, a giant and so on. And at the end of the movie, this is very, very pivotal, sorry if you haven't seen this yet, is he becomes what to everybody else was an exaggeration, but he became what he believed he was. And everybody comes to his funeral, and those people are exactly the people that were, part of his life. Were they exaggerated in this world, on this realm? Probably. But in his mind, they were who they were to him. That is the heartbeat. That's the liminal space. That's the sacred moment. That's the Kyrios, right? That is the Lord moment. The imagination wakes up within you, and you realize, okay, this is not just getting stuff. It's not bad to do that. I'm getting stuff, you're getting stuff. That's part of what this is. But part of what's happening is you're waking up to who you are. You are the only God in your reality, and you will always be that unless you accept otherwise. And so, I want to encourage you to recognize and realize and accept that there's only one power, and that is your own consciousness. And for the lack of a better word, consciousness is your awareness. But to better understand that, what is consciousness? What is awareness? Well, imagine that you're in a room somewhere and it's all dark. And then you suddenly like recognize or realize, or a light shines on a chair, and you begin to see that and you begin to recognize that object. That's awareness. But even before that light turns on and focuses itself around an object, that's you. You are not darkness, but your awareness. You're aware that you're in a room. And then whatever you shine your light on, your awareness, is what you accept as your reality. This is the same in the movie Big Fish. He accepted what he wanted as his own reality. This is your power. That is where you begin. Today, yesterday, not 5 minutes from now, now. That's where your power is. It's in the now. It always has been, and it always will be. So I want to encourage you to exaggerate your reality. I know that sounds very, very counterintuitive because we romanticize this idea of like, well, you got to grow up. Oh, you've got to become an adult. What's an adult? Nobody knows what an adult is. Everybody is adulting, right? You ever see those t-shirts? Nobody knows what it is. Why? Because we made it up. So you become the best version of yourself. That's adulting, if you want to use that word. I don't believe in being an adult. I don't know what the hell that is, and I'm trained in psychology. So be the best version of yourself in every area of your life. Step into that today. Take a first action towards that, being that person. And I guarantee you, give it time, give it belief, whatever it is that will get you there. Give yourself encouragement, put posters up on a wall, play music, dance, get yourself out of a funk that you don't deserve to be in, because you deserve the best life ever. You really do.